Hey, vinyl community. It's Jeff here. It's been a while. It's been several months since I've made a video, but I'm marking 2 years in the VC. Actually, it was about 6 weeks ago, but who's counting? I think my first video was the last week of December. It was my actual anniversary of making videos. But anyway, I'm over 2 years now, and so I thought I would throw my hat back in the ring and knock the rust off and make another video. I've been watching videos pretty much the same as always. I've been sort of a silent lurker, and I've commented occasionally here and there, but not as much as I used to. But I'm still watching all your darn videos. Thank you very much. I can't not watch them, apparently. I seem to be hooked, addicted to that, but there are worse vices out there. Anyway, I got a little bit of rock and pop stuff, and I got a little bit of jazz also. And so let's get started. The rock and pop stuff is kind of, actually, yeah, it's all stuff that I used to have. You know the story that I got rid of a long time ago, and now I'm buying it back. It's kind of crazy, but some of these things, I don't think I'll buy Led Zeppelin or Deep Purple or any of that sort of mainstream stuff. But some of the oddball or a little bit off the beaten path stuff I would like to have on vinyl. So here's one. This is the Seeds from 1966. And it's on Crescendo. You guys have probably all seen this. It's a fairly common garage selection for garage rock type primitive sound. You probably remember the song Pushing Too Hard, and that was the big one off of this album. This is a mono edition from 1966. And it's also famously got the misprinted label. It's on Crescendo, but there's a misprint on the label for the song "Can't Seem to Make You Mine." It's misprinted on the label as "Can't Seem to Make You Mind." A little different connotation there, but an old garage selection that I'm happy to have back in the collection. Another one that I'm happy to have back in my collection is Elvis Costello and the Attractions. Well, Elvis Costello's third album, the Attractions' second album, I think, Armed Forces. I probably am gonna buy his first 6 albums all over again, and this was one of them. Found it in really good shape at a decent price. Uh, Peace, Love, and Understanding, Oliver's Army, all that stuff. Another returnee, lost dog that found its way home to me. And another one here in that category. Here's the Flamin' Groovies. Now. Flamin' Groovies Now. And these guys were also these were torchbearers for the garage, sort of jangle garage pop kind of sound. Really fun band. They were at it for decades, and mostly covers. And they did have a few of their own songs, but they did a lot of covers on every album. And the thing that I like about their selection of material to cover is they go a little deeper than a lot might have. For instance, if they'd covered the Stones rather than doing Honky Tonk Women or Get Off My Cloud or something like that, they do When Blue Turns to Gray. And when they cover Lennon McCartney, they'll do a song like There's a Place or And Your Bird Can Sing. So little deeper cuts, little deeper covers and tracks that make it really interesting. Another one that I'm happy to have in a collection. I wish I wouldn't have let it go. It's funny, This particular one I let go to a friend who I still see occasionally, and I sort of kick myself every time I see him because I think about the albums that I let him buy, and a couple of them I'd like to have back, do over. But anyway, a long time ago, or a while back, back when Mazzy was in the midst of selling off the Coleman collection, he did a real quick little flip video for me of miscellaneous jazz titles from the Coleman collection. No heavy hitters or anything, sort of off the beaten path, not quite as recognizable titles, and he just did a real quick flip video for me to see if there was anything there that I was interested in, and there was a couple. I said sure, I'd take a couple of those, and then later on we met. He was going to actually hand off the albums to me, and I was going to pay him. We were going to settle up, and I see him, and he goes, you can have them. They're on the house. I said, what? And he gives me a canvas bag, and he's got there's a few extras in there that he also threw in along with those. And he said, that's my treat. So that was a pleasant surprise. It was, there was a Dizzy Gillespie album, I remember, that I had sort of mentioned that I was interested in. And, Black Orpheus soundtrack thing. Sarah Vaughan sings show tunes. Bill Evans with Toots Thielman. And that was late. I think that was late in Bill Evans' career. I didn't even recognize that cover I'd never seen before. And but the best one of the bunch was this one. I don't know. Best. The one that I enjoyed the most is my favorite of that haul is this one, Satch Plays Fats, and it's old Columbia 6i, and it's a really fun album because you definitely get the flavor of Fats Waller songs like. Of course, Ain't Misbehaving, and if I could see this, I'm Crazy About My Baby, Squeeze Me, Honeysuckle Rose, but done in that classic Louis Armstrong voice. So you kind of getting the best of both worlds there. There we go, Columbia 6i. And this was in among. Like I said, a bag full of albums, jazz albums that Nancy just gave to me. I was gonna purchase them, but he wouldn't let me do that. So thanks again for that, Mazzy. That was very kind of you, and I'll put that back in the jacket later. Next one is. The rest are jazz, and this, that's the while back, last half of 2021, I ordered a bunch of stuff from Acoustic Sounds and Blue Note and whatnot, and I'm not even going to show those, Tone Poets and Classic Series stuff. You've seen all of those a dozen times probably in the last 6 or 12 months. So I'm really not even going to show those, except for maybe one that overlaps with the Classic Series, but I found a cheaper alternative. And then you can see a few of them behind me too also. But the first one that I want to mention is this one, Sonny Rollins +4. And it's Clifford Brown on the trumpet, Max Roach on the drums, Richie Powell on piano, and George Morrow on bass. And it's basically the Max Roach Quintet with Rollins substituted in on the saxophone. So 4 of the 5 people on this album are you can find on Clifford Brown and Max Roach's, I think, their first album from '54. And then also a couple of years later, they had an album called Three Giants where Rollins appears with them. But this one, I like to mention this one, and I've actually mentioned this in comments here and there on your vinyl community posts, because it was reissued a zillion times. It's easy to find. It's affordable, and it's really good. It's not it doesn't really impress you. The cover, the jacket, and the jacket is funny. It sort of varies quite a bit in sort of the color, hue, or palette. And this one is kind of brown and brick red. But you'll see it where the dark stripes are more purple and the red stripes are really red or pink-ish. And so it'll go from purple to pink to brown and red depending on which reissue or which edition you look at. But not a real snappy album cover that catches your eye necessarily, but a good, affordable jazz album. And a really good, if you think of most of Rollins' albums, a lot of times his stuff can get a little squawky and squeaky. Not this one though. It's the sax and the trumpet tend to sort of both carry the melody, and they're up tempo, quick toe tapping songs. So this is really a good one, I think, to get into Sonny Rollins, without jumping into Saxophone Colossus and stuff like that necessarily. It's a good one, easy to find and very affordable. Another one that I sort of put in that category is When Farmer Met Grice. That's Art Farmer and Gigi Grice. Art Farmer on the trumpet, Gigi Grice plays saxophone, and also really good, really kind of moving stuff. It's not your typical saxophone jazz, I don't think. And this one was, I didn't realize it. This one was recorded back in '54 and '55, a couple of different sessions. I didn't realize it went back that far. This is a 2014 original jazz classic OJC reissue of it, but that's a good one also. So if you sort of think of jazz as being sort of squawky, squeaky trumpets, try either one of these. They're not your Blue Note, Grails or Prestige or that stuff, but or Impulse, but they're real nice jazz albums. This one, however, is hard to find. It's actually fairly difficult to find. This one is not. This one readily available, I think. One more, and that's Jackie McLean, Capuchin Swing. This one is might overlap with the classic series or something like that, but from Blue Note. But this is actually a 75th anniversary Blue Note, which is fine. That's fine for me. I just checked off another Jackie McLean album, and it's a good one. I like it. Yeah, 75th anniversary. All right, that's my little return to throwing my hat back in the ring, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay. Don't forget, Discogs is the devil.